Sons of Anarchy.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Corned Roof Podcast. I am your host, Jared Clem, alongside my two amazing co-hosts, Mr. Matt Ordazzo and Mr. Chris Lipoff. Gentlemen, we've survived it. We're here. My lights are all screwed up. It is a great day. Me and Chris are still celebrating after last night.
Oh hell yeah. Maybe the game of the year.
Honestly, they were talking about that today in a lot of different places. That actually may be game of the year. But I honestly don't know what's funnier. How on one unit I'll hear game of the year, and on the next channel I'll hear how, like, I'm sick of the Eagles getting these lucky wins. Listen, okay, so, and I got to give some love to Patriots fans right now, because when y'all were winning games and it just didn't make sense, I'm not even comparing us, because we may not win. We might win one title. We may win 3. We may win 0 out of this group, right? But when the Patriots were good and when we were children, right? And there was a lot of guys who were just, we didn't know how the fuck they kept winning games. It was frustrating. It would kill us, right? So, and we used to get so mad. It's like, oh, they're lucky. They're lucky. It's like, no. Y'all fucked up. Y'all played us at your best, and you gave us a window. And like Tom Brady, like Kobe Bryant, like Michael Jordan, like Aaron Rodgers, like a lot of the great killer and closers before, to quote the great Tim Grover, the cleaners, yeah, they closed the door. If y'all haven't heard what I'm talking about, there's a book by the legendary trainer of Michael Jordan, Tim Grover. It's called Becoming Unstoppable. I will post the link on our Twitter, because honestly, this is a selfless plug. I honestly love this book. I was recommended it by my dietitian, which is hilarious because she's such a soft-spoken woman, but she's very, like, intense. One of the biggest things that the book showed me was that when I look at athletes as a media member, I am actually able to see who is a killer, cleaner, can stop everything, who's a closer, who can kind of, they need a little setup, but once they come in, right, it's over. Ball game. They get the perfect situation. And then who is the supporting cast, the coolers, the guys who need the cleaner and the closer next to them, but yeah, can still perform well with the right conditions, right? So whatever you think you are, that's fine. But when I look at certain guys, like Mariano Rivera is a closer. He wasn't the optimal, I'm sorry, no closing pitcher is a cleaner. I don't care. Maybe Mariano was, but most closing pitchers need to have the bases empty, need to have the place rocking, need to have all their pitches on, right? Guys like Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Sandy Koufax, Hall of Fame pitchers, didn't need all their pitches. They just needed 2 of them to work, and they would find a way to win a ball game, right? And in football, like, you take away Tom Brady. Tom Brady's got a knee brace on, right? He can't fucking run. He's got a busted ACL 2 years ago, right? Still goes out and wins 2 playoff games. Loses to the Rams in one of the most thrilling games I've ever watched in my life, but still does it. Jalen Hurts hasn't been playing at 100% since Matt's Jets tried to kill him. But, well said, listen, they played a good game. They beat us. When the game was on the line, he won. I got to give credit to Josh Allen last night, because Josh Allen played his heart out. And Josh Allen, in my opinion, is a cleaner. He is one of those guys who I'm not worried about Josh Allen down the stretch. Did he miss that throw to Gabe Davis? Yeah. Did Gabe Davis run the wrong route? Yes. I am not going to put all that blame on Josh Allen. Was that a lack of communication? Oh, totally was. But did Josh Allen make the best throw possible? Yeah. Did Gabe Davis run a great route? Yeah, just the wrong one. But when it all comes down to it, Sean McDermott is a mediocre head coach at best with great talent around him. Nick Sirianni just looks at Jalen and goes, all right, go do it.
I 100% agree with you. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I don't think anything should be on Josh Allen, dude. He had 330 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. He had 77 rushing yards. I mean, the dude fucking played his heart out in the rain. Yeah, Gabe Davis ran the wrong route. Mistakes happen. McDermott also likes, like I was saying before, McDermott also likes throwing the ball 50 times. And what I noticed yesterday with the Bills, and especially at the end of the game in OT, they're playing a lot of zone defense. So the Eagles
all zoned. I think they only ran 3 plays the entire game yesterday. I mean, I have to go back and look at the all 22, but I think they only ran a grand total of 4 plays in man coverage.
Yeah, but basically the whole time the Eagles kept getting away with all these cross routes, and that is gonna, with Devontae, dude, and how fast he is, he can just torch anyone up the field after he hits the cross. And they kept leaving a guy open. I mean, it was a shootout, 2 great teams, but at the end of the day, Jalen didn't have a good first half. Second half, he came in and did what he does. He had 4 touchdowns in the second half. Played his ass off. We were really conservative in the first quarter. We kept doing what we were doing against the Chiefs. Those bubble screens, we weren't really getting the ball out. And then we flipped the script. Jalen played well. The defense stepped up a little bit. Jason Kelce almost cost us the game. That scared me.
Okay, that was totally ticky-tacky, though. Those penalties kind of irritated me because as much as I want to be like, all right, listen, like, I want to go on these freaking Bills fans because they are driving me nuts today on TikTok.
Oh, dude, did you see the one dude going at it with the Eagles fans, Phillips?
No, that story's crazy because I gotta go. I think her name is Lacey Jane Brown. She's a TikTok sports influencer. Very attractive girl. Goes to every stadium. She's got a big following, and she's honestly got good content, right? So everyone saw the video of Jalen Phillips, and I believe it was Joseph was the other one who was getting in it with Eagles fans.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so
former Eagle too.
Yeah, right.
We had him last year, right?
Yeah, he was getting a little aggro on us. What was happening was that allegedly, according to Phillips and Joseph, they were threatening their families and shit. But the fan who was sitting next to them went on TikTok or Instagram this morning or Twitter or whatever, and goes, "Yeah, don't lie. There's a reason they didn't throw them out. They weren't threatening your families. They were just calling you bums. They were calling you losers. They were in your head. They were talking and chirping to you the entire game. And allegedly, that's when Phillips and who was Lawson and who was the other one? Phillips, Lawson, and the last one.
Joseph,
yeah. Yeah, no, literally just not even. Yeah, just it was like they just were like the Eagles fans were in their heads. Now you can go back as far as like even listening to like McAfee back in the day where he talks about his experience with Eagles fans. And a lot of the time, these guys will bring up how like they chirp from the side. Also, if you guys have ever been to the Link, which I know me and Chris obviously have, it's not that far from front row to the sideline. Chris, what do you think? 20 yards max, 10 yards if you're on front row? Not even?
Yeah.
You're on top of the free. Yeah. It's not like NBA where you're literally on top of them, but you are like right there. So that being said, like everyone can hear him. Listen, I was at the Hurricanes Boston College Eagles game on Friday, and McCormick, the tight end who's played for 1,000 years, dropped a ball in the open field. I yelled something from the second row in the south end zone. He heard me and he looked over at me. I'm 30 yards away from him, but that also shows how much of a high school stadium Boston College is. Anyway, but dude, like it just looks soft to me. And I heard that like they were trying to get these guys thrown out. I'm like, dude, you're a bum. Like,
oh, dude, it's like the worst thing to have a Philly fan in your head during a game. Like then players start lashing out. Like I remember last year in the NFC Championship, wasn't playing, but it was Joey Bosa. They were chirping him before the game.
Oh my god, yeah, because his brother was playing. Oh my god,
asking him what time the Chargers played, and he's like, He's like, "How's those fines, buddy?" He's like, "I can afford them." And
then he started like,
going
"Oh,
at it.
how
I'm
much
like,
money
"Dude,
you
are
make?"
they-
And I'm just like, "You're such a
Yeah,
fucking
I can
loser,
afford
bro."
it, you broke bitch. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, dude." Like, you're getting
Oh my
like, dude, you make millions of dollars. Why are you even yelling at a drunk fan?
Yeah, no, it's what I find utterly hilarious about this whole situation. And Matt, I mean, I love Jets fans because they're such the most wholesome bunch of people. They will talk their shit, but when they're losing, they'll still talk their shit, but in a cynical manner that degrades their own team.
Yeah,
What I find
we're more of a like we point out like listen, y'all suck too. Don't get it twisted. Like we're terrible, but like y'all ain't any better. Not like you guys, but you know we understand
well,
we're
you
not
guys
hot shit right
you're the
now.
only team that has the bravado of beating us this year, so you guys deserve to talk your shit a little bit. Like,
Yeah, but then it's like,
You
oh
guys are
great,
realists.
we beat the Eagles, and then we're like, all right, well, we're 4-7. So it's kind of like cool.
fair.
We beat the Eagles, but we're 4-7. I got to do a little public service announcement apology to Patriot fans because Dolphins are hands down taking or running away with the worst fan base in the AFC East by far. It's
I
just
mean,
it's
the
terrible.
Bills didn't help themselves today because I used to I love Bills
My,
fans, but
see,
they came off as
Miami
such sore losers, man.
Bills fans are pretty humble. I like Bills fans because they never cause shit. They never cause any shit when we're at the stadium and we're playing the Bills. They never do anything. They never cause any issues. And if anything crazy happens, like they're the first fan base to go and donate to whatever fund your player play. Like you know, they're good. They're good people. Miami talks so much shit because they have Tua and Tyreek and Waddle, and they're just. I just look at them. I'm like, but like you're saying all of this shit about Jets fans. When's the last time you guys won the Super Bowl? 1972? That's like 3 years
Yeah.
after us.
Y'all
Like we're all in the same
wasted
boat.
maybe the greatest physical specimen of a quarterback of all time.
Yeah, y'all wasted Dan Marino's
You
career
wasted
and
Peyton Manning with with an arm. You wasted
yeah,
Peyton Manning with an arm. Like that's what you
Yeah.
did.
and they
I think
also
it did.
haven't won. It's been the same time frame since we've won the Super Bowl. I was like, you guys are what? Because you guys make the playoffs more than us. Like you guys are all first round exits every year simultaneously. Whenever you guys make the playoffs, first round exits, and then it's the whole next year thing. You win the
But it's
draft,
the
you win the
injuries,
offseason.
Matt.
Yeah,
I'd rather-
don't talk to me about injuries. My whole offensive line is injured.
Wait, you
I'd
guys had
rather
an offensive
suck.
line?
Yeah, apparently, and they're all hurt. All first,
I'd
second,
ra-
third string of them.
Let's say I'd rather suck than go to the playoffs, lose in the first round every year, dude. Because like, it's just like, dude, like
Pretty much the Bengals
Hey.
of like the 2010s.
they almost beat. It was funny. They almost beat the Bills last year with Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, the
Who
Bills in
too?
the playoffs are a lot different than the Bills in the regular season. I don't
It's
think
so
Bills fans are
weird.
ready to admit that, but they
No,
like
Now
they're
they.
not.
dude,
What's
Josh
what's
Allen
hil-
switches.
Josh
what
Allen
is
turns into prime
hilarious-
time Kirk Cousins in the playoffs.
What is hilarious? Listen, put some respect on old Kirk Thuggins right now. But here's the kicker, right? And I want to bring this up because I don't think Josh Allen is actually the problem.
I don't
I
think
said
so
this
either.
earlier. It's Sean McDoofus, okay? There was a
Oh,
reason this
God.
guy was one of the like he didn't get a head coaching job for like 6-7 years after the Eagles let him go. There's a reason for it. He was not a good defensive coordinator. And like
What has he
this
done?
also
that's
states
accurate?
how important Matt Milano is to that defense. Okay? A fully healthy Buffalo defense and a fully healthy Eagles team, that game still goes to overtime because if we have Jason Kelsey and we have Avonte Maddox, they have Matt Milano and they have was Von Miller playing last night? He was playing, right?
Yeah, he's playing.
Yeah, he just didn't do shit. Yeah, no, that game still goes to overtime. Those are two very well matched teams. The problem is the Bills did not fix their biggest fucking problem. Josh Allen deserves an award last night because I think he got sacked three times, twice max. Like he didn't get sacked much at all. Against the Patriots week 1, the Eagles did not get a sack because Mack had that ball out within a quarter of a second. It was frustrating. It was honestly kind of impressive. But with Josh, he was extending plays, breaking arm tackles. There was a couple times where I thought Reddick or Sweat was going to lock him up. He was it. And he would wiggle out of it. I'm like, oh, God damn it again. But here's the kicker, right? The Bills played an amazing game. And it's hilarious that we're talking about the America's Game of the Week instead of the Sunday night game, which usually we start the first 5-10 minutes about. Because that game was exactly as we thought. We'll talk about one sentence game in about 10, 15 minutes. But last couple thoughts, like, what more do you guys need? Like, there's a song by Jay-Z. It starts off with the Gladiator intro. It's called "What More Can I Say." It's off the Black Album, by one of my favorite musical albums of all time. And he goes, "What?" And the whole chorus is, "What more can I say? What more can Jalen Hurts do to prove to y'all that it's him and Mahomes
And Sirianni,
50 feet of shit, and it's Sirianni too. 50 feet of shit, and it's everything else."
I loved Sirianni when you guys beat the Chiefs and he walked through the tunnel and he stopped and he was like, "Oh, I don't hear you anymore, Chiefs fans." He's like, "See ya." Oh, I loved it. I love a coach.
I love
that
how
does
people
that.
get so offended by what he does. It makes me laugh.
I see him do things like that, and I just think, I'm like, man, like I miss Rex Ryan for a little bit, just because
I miss
Rex Ryan would
sexy
do that.
Rexy too. Okay,
See, like
head coaches
dude, I
are
love
fun.
Rex.
I don't know how to say it. I guess like unpopular opinion, bold take, whatever you want to call it. Like I think if Rex Ryan got himself like an actual good offensive coordinator, quarterback, but I think if he actually had an actual offensive coordinator in his coaching staff, which it has to go all on him because he's the man that you would think is hiring these guys. But if he actually had a good offensive coordinator, I wonder what could have happened. But piggybacking off of what you were saying about the game, my final thoughts right here. I thought at first Josh Allen might have been the problem, just because of how much he regressed once Brian Daboll left. I thought maybe it just worked in that system, and then once that guy left, he didn't know what to do. But you bring in Joe Brady, you just see the difference in his play the last 2 weeks compared to the last year and a half, and he's improved so much that I'm like, you know what? Josh Allen isn't the problem. And then you look at the lone factor, and it's like, it's got to be the head coach. I'd go as far as say it's the general manager too, because what did he do to improve that offense? Needed another receiver with Stephon Diggs and needed run game. And what did he do? He goes and gets a tight end. That offense can survive with Dawson Knox. He's not a bad tight end. He's not a high profile fantasy tight end, but you bring in Dalton Kincaid, who's looked very well, but like, they needed a run game. You just settled with James Cook, who is now not even like the main featured guy. He flips him back and forth with Latavius Murray. I think it's Damian Williams, and they got Leonard Fournette. I don't even know if he's playing yet, but they needed a run. Yeah, they needed a run game. They didn't make any moves.
Where's my dog Lenny last night? By the way, the only one of the few running backs I actually fear as an Eagles fan. Like, I watched him with the Bucs run straight through us. But here's the kicker. Well, shout out to my boy Yeffer. Yeffer, you seeing this shit in the background? That crispy Ed Reed jersey. Shout out to my dog for buying that shit for me. Much appreciated. My biggest issue was with the other day. So our boss, Big Mike Brown, posted in the main chat yesterday morning, "Hey, what should I do? Should I post?" It was like Cobb, Nico Collins, and then there was James Cook was last one. Like, do not play James Cook. Yeah, he had a couple of good plays of like 40, 50 yards. I'm not having a power running back, a non-power running back play Philadelphia. Yeah. We saw what happened all season. Show me the last running back, not like a power first guy who's actually lit us up.
No,
don't happen.
I mean,
Josh Allen's a power runner. That's how he beat us, or ran for like 80 yards on us.
Yeah.
That's why I also throw the GM in it, because they needed defensive help. They needed help with the linebacker. They lost Edmonds. Their secondary is aging, and Tre'Davious White is always hurt. And I know they drafted Kyler Lame, but you got to go out and you got to get something else, because you can't just rely on those two guys, because Tre'Davious White is not going to be healthy for a full season. They didn't address the linebacker position. I thought they were going to take one in the first round. They didn't do that. So I put a lot of it on the general manager, because I think they needed help with the pass rush with the linebackers, and just corner help and receiver help and running back help, and they did not address any of that.
Again, I was going to say, my final thought with this is my biggest fear for the Bills, and especially Bills fans, is you might not make the playoffs. Like, you're going to play KC this week. You're going to play Dallas the following week. You're going to play the Chargers, the Patriots, and the Dolphins. And, I mean, if you don't make the playoffs, I can see Diggs asking out, being a little diva that he is. I can see McDermott getting fired, which maybe could happen. But, I mean, that's what I got with Buffalo.
I have a theory. Okay, as I do my Brian Windhorst impression, looking like Duck Dynasty mixed with a 90s surf snowboarder. I think the Bills not making the playoffs this year is the best case scenario for the Bills. Hear me out. So this is my last point here because we all know how much I love Jalen Hurts. I could literally kiss the ground this man walks on forever, right? So they fire McDoofus. Thank God. He is a mid-head coach. He is literally, if Brandon Staley's a Diet Coke, he's regular Coke. They're both morons who claim to be good at defense. Here's the second thing they do. They get rid of Diggs. Diggs is such a fucking prima donna. Just go to fucking Dallas already and just leave him alone. The poor Bills don't deserve this. Then they go out and they get rid of some of this fucking dinosaur level defensive talent. I'm sorry. You don't need Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Keep one, not the other. You can easily go get a new safety. Like, go get Marcus Epps from Las Vegas, or go get one of these young guys. Go freaking trade for Budda Baker if you want to spend some money. There are plenty of young safeties out there. Apparently, Philadelphia can just pluck them out of trees. Shout out to Justin Evans.
I think both guys are in their 30s too.
Yeah, exactly. Both, and all their corners are in their fucking 30s except for Rasul Douglas, who's my age. He's 28. Like Kaiir Elam, where is he? He should be playing more. The Bills need to realize they need to get younger on defense, get rid of Diggs, draft O-linemen. Them not making the playoffs and cleaning house with a stable base of Allen, Deion Dawkins, and a few other players is the best case scenario for Buffalo. Buffalo missing the playoffs is what they need right now. Because if they don't miss the play, they make it, they won't change anything. Because let's be honest, they get in as a wild card team, they may beat one of these division winners. You put Buffalo and Jacksonville, I'm taking Buffalo. Or in Houston, whoever wins that South division. Honestly, it's a 50-50 coin toss because the Texans have an easy-ass road. You send them over to Pittsburgh or Baltimore, coin flip. Seriously. I don't trust either of those against the Buffalo Bills, especially the Bills team I saw watch. So the best case scenario is they miss the playoffs, they fire Sean McDoofus, and then they start rebuilding from this base. But they won't do it. Because if they make the playoffs, they're going to think, okay, we're one move away.
Mm-hmm.
How many years is too many years, man? Like, seriously.
Josh Allen's probably going to retire by the time that narrative's pushed away.
Here's the thing. I keep forgetting. Josh Allen is younger than me and Matt. So, like, he's still got a lot of tread left on them tires. He's 27.
He's like 27. 27, yeah, 26, 27.
Me and homeowner McGee over there 28. But I digress. We've talked 23 minutes of one fucking football game. Eagles look good. Eagles aren't lucky. They just know how to close. All right. Let's talk college football quick as Maddie gets ready to run our favorite game here. That would be the one-sentence game, which is coming up in about 3 minutes. College football hot takes. I got a couple quick. One, shout out to Boston College for the easiest experience of getting in and getting out of a game I've ever seen. I was able to tailgate in a parking lot, walk across campus, walk right in, smelling like a literal, like Bob Marley's basement. Sat in there, watched the game, had a blast, had 3 beers. The one thing that sucked is that they had no food available. Everything was a line or they were out of food, and it was driving me nuts. Also, the bleacher seating is a little annoying, but I mean, it's a college stadium. What are you going to do? Other than that, very hospitable fans. I had a fun time. My Hurricanes rolled 45-20. It was a good time. Shout out to Tyler Van Doofus for having a great last game as a Hurricane, not counting the bowl game. It was kind of fun watching the game that up close. Iron Bowl. Holy fuck.
Jeez. We got our asses bailed out, dude.
Oh, my Lord. That was crazy. So, for the record, and I'm going to say this out loud right now. I had to leave, I think, just after that long touchdown run by Alabama. So I think they had like a 3-point lead or whatever. I had to drive to my buddy's barbecue across like 20 minutes away. I get there. I'm checking the scores while I'm hanging out. We're grilling. I'm having a beer. We're relaxing. And then I see that Auburn's winning and that Alabama is getting the ball back with like a minute and 10 left. Me claiming onto some hope that I'm going to have some kind of chance in my parlay this week. And even though Matt extended his lead, Chris is catching up on me. So I want to forget this weekend never fucking happened. Thanks, Detroit, you bums. I'm not even going to talk about Seattle. That's on me. So I'm done betting on the Sea Chickens, by the way. I hope my Eagles stomp them in 2 weeks because there's a very good chance we lose to San Francisco this weekend, which is going to be like the most irritating week of football of all time. Because I think we may lose to them because they're just so fucking like out of control. Chris, we'll beat them in the playoffs. It's just the problem is it's the regular season and we just played like back-to-back emotional games. I don't know if we have a third one in us. If we do, awesome. That means we are literally a juggernaut. But like, we're either losing to Seattle, Dallas, or San Fran. One of these 3 games we will lose. So, but I digress. The Iron Bowl has been, honestly, buddy,
been there.
Yeah,
been
how
there.
many times?
Chris did this. Chris did this mid-show. No, I'm just kidding.
Like 10 years old in first
I'm going
grade.
right now.
He's got the Mountain Dew bottle right next to the freaking thing.
Oh, dude, it's good. That's good battery acid.
So my favorite part about this is
We're not going to talk about what just happened. What is going on?
I don't know. I'm ignoring these comments at this point.
Oh, I was fixated on the fact that they said 10 years old in the first grade. How many times they stay back in kindergarten?
Hey, listen. So it's hard for shapes are hard for some people. Okay.
This is a good time though.
So listen, I'm saying this like Alabama. That's throw by Milroe. That's a 1 in a million throw. That is a 1 in a million clutch gene throw. The catch was phenomenal. And I like sat there. I'm watching with 2 of my friends who are just so shout out to my friends Trevor and Alex, they're 2 of my best friends in the world. They're not really big football fans, but I'm getting them into football. Like he was always a Patriots fan. She's picking a team based off of her love of the Kelsey family. So she's down to the Eagles, Chiefs, and a mystery third team who she's going to root for. I won't push because when you push, you lose. Also, the fact that my buddy's girlfriend could become an Eagles fan would be the funniest thing of all time. Anyway, he doesn't have a college team. He goes, watching that game made me a Bama fan. I'm like, I will accept that. That's fair because that was a fucking awesome game. And I will admit I was rooting for Alabama the entire time. Not just because one of my best friends went to Alabama, not just because Bama Twitter has always treated me like family. Gotta love you. The love they showed to Miami Jared has always been fun. But I really appreciated the fact that Milroe drove down the field, basically got that dumbass play where he got dropped back to the 30 and over the top, drops in the back corner of the end zone. A phenomenal play. I was blown away by it. Amazing ending to a game. Dude, and it wasn't even like we had 3 awesome games this weekend. This is what makes me happy.
It was like the Steelers and Cardinals Super Bowl where Santonio Holmes caught the ball at the back of the end zone and Big Ben just whizzed it to him. That's exactly what it reminded me of as soon as I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to that receiver. He was like, we're all bunched up in the left side of the end zone. Let me run to the right and let me get like 4 or 5 yards separation.
High football IQ playboys.
Yeah, he's just yelling to Milroe. He's like, give me the Heisman.
It was a perfect. Yeah, he ain't getting the fucking Heisman. It was a perfect. Oh yeah, my boy Jaden. Anyway, we'll find out if he's gonna declare or not.
Tyler Van Dyke for Heisman.
But man, I thought maybe Kelsey's. I thought maybe Kelsey was gonna be good luck for me, just bad luck for you guys. But can't put it all on him. They did have that game won up until the last like 40 seconds of the game. So
nah, dude.
Maybe next time I'll take some Kelsey advice again if I need to.
I don't put that on him. It's just crazy how the chat went, send your condolences to Kevin, and then it went a total 180. 5 seconds.
And then we're like,
later.
wow. Like, damn.
You know what? I texted him. I texted him at like 10:30, and now I got home from my buddy's barbecue, and he texted me the next morning. I'm like, buddy, that was a good one. Like that was a fun game. Like, as much as Bama annoys me from them just being Bama, like they're always there. Like that was a clutch. You couldn't even get mad. That was just fun. And so you know what? Shout out to Kevin Kelsey for our show on Tuesday because they called it. there was going to be some Class A fuckery on that game, and it was Class A fuckery.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%.
Oh, yeah, I was blown away. And we also got to talk about the game, Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh God.
I love it because watching Ohio State suffer just makes me happy because I still haven't forgiven them for 0-2 and how much they probably had to pay the refs off to call that pass interference. Here's the other thing, right? As I crack a non-alcoholic pineapple seltzer, by the way. Yeah, I went from a 10% Imperial Stout to my beer fridge is pretty scarce right now. I just spent so much money on Cyber Monday. I broke this for the next 4 days. So I'm drinking my pineapple, my sparkling pineapple juice. And I had a 10% chocolate stout, which is, by the way, phenomenal. By the way, Brooklyn Brewing, the goat of Christmas beers. That being said, the chocolate and pineapple is going to be an interesting combo. This almost got me buzzed off one beer, which is hilarious. Here's the kicker, right? This is Chris's kind of beer, right? So here's the thing. One, as I try to build my parlay for tonight's game because, I'm all about Josh Dobbs, baby.
I like Josh Dobbs.
My dad's a Vikings fan. I'm going to root vicariously through him tonight. Here is the kicker about this Michigan-Ohio State game. When can Ohio State finally get it that Ryan Day is not the guy?
I don't know.
I see. I'm friends with a lot of Ohio State fans. Whether it's through my friends at Craft Brew or Belly Up itself or our boy JD Davis, who I'm doing a health check on. JD, if you're watching this show, buddy, I love you. I miss your big ass. I want you to be okay. If you need a hug, I will drive out to Toledo to give you a hug. This is a real, like, I love you, buddy. You big monster. Here's the thing. Ryan Day's not the answer. He's not. He sounds like the meme of Jim Harbaugh from Bad Lip Reading when he's complaining to the referees about calls. I want it now. That's pass interference. How is that not a penalty? No, that's what he sounds like. I swear, in my mind, watching the game on mute while I'm cooking and cleaning and grilling and smoking a cigar, doing 35,000 things on Saturday, right? That's how I imagine Ryan Day sounding to the referees. And then I just see Jim Harbaugh somewhere 45 miles away watching him on TV smiling. And whoever the intern coach on Michigan looking cool as a cucumber, man. Like, dude wasn't flinching. Looking like Jalen Hurts on the bench. And I'm watching this game. I'm like, there ain't no way, Michigan. I had the vibe the entire game. There wasn't a single way that Michigan was losing that game. I did not even think for a second. It was going to be close. But in the bottom of my mind, I said to myself, there's no way Michigan's losing this. I can just feel it. You watch a game and you have no interest in it other than you bet on it, and you just have a vibe from the start. You're like, there's no fucking way this team loses. Michigan had that vibe the entire game.
Listen, the atmosphere looked insane in Ann Arbor. I got a buddy who went up there last year. He didn't go for Michigan, Ohio State, but I don't think they played in Michigan last year, but he went up there last year just for a game, and he said, dude, it's just like a different breed of people. He said it's awesome.
Harbaugh might be going to the Bears. I was hearing a lot of big favorites going back to the NFL, going to Chicago, maybe work with Justin Fields. Or, if that's the case, maybe he comes back and he brings J.J. McCarthy with him to Chicago.
Send him to Baltimore with his brother. I want to see what happens with that. Maybe they'll argue.
I think it'd be interesting.
Who's to play quarterback for the team.
It'd be interesting if he was going to Carolina, but I just think Carolina is so far away from just anything special, but beyond 4 or 5 wins. I think it's going to be a project coach that goes there.
It's I don't know. We talking Chicago or Ohio State at this point?
Well, no, we were talking about the Michigan-Ohio State game, but then I was saying how John Harbaugh, I was hearing, could go to the Bears if he goes to the NFL.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's going to be John Harbaugh. It's going to be John Harbaugh. It's like, is it? Is it going to be John? Like, I don't.
Got a new comment.
I don't buy it. This guy's just
Oh.
talking straight junk at this point.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot last time you guys were at full strength and we still stomped you, and then we broke your quarterback's elbow. I mean, I would have rather Brock Purdy play the whole game because then we would have not had to hear those bullshit. But you can go you can get overrated Ohio State defensive ends all you want. Shout out Chase Young and Nick Bosa. Here we'll go back to the task at hand here with Ohio State being overrated. They didn't play anybody. They barely beat Penn State. Michigan thumped Penn State. It wasn't even fair. And the Michigan-Penn State game didn't look close on eye test, on like scorecard. It did. So my biggest kicker, and I'll bring this up quickly as we go into the next part, we roll into our segment for one sentence game, is because besides Deion getting smoked again, which it's like I fucking called it during the preseason, right? I bought into the hype for about 5 minutes, and then the Colorado State game, I'm like, oh, no. They should have ripped Colorado State apart by 50 points if they're this good of a team. And then I was dumb enough to double down and bet on them for an upset pick against Oregon.
I think I did the same thing. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
I think you doubled up with me, and that was like your third missed upset in a row. I think you were pissed about it too.
Yeah, dude, I was just livid. I was like, because they were so hot to start the year.
Okay, so back to the task at hand, right? So here is my biggest thing with Ohio State, Michigan. Teams are going the opposite direction. Michigan loses their coach on the sideline and still keeps winning. Ohio State's now lost 3 straight games to Michigan.
Doesn't that say something?
What?
Doesn't that say something for the coach? Like,
Urban Meyer was the only reason they were winning fucking games.
Yeah.
And Jim Tressel before him. Ryan Day is not a good head coach. He's not. Like, Tressel used to strike fear in opposing teams. So did Urban Meyer and opposing kickers' thighs, apparently. Also, and your underage girl, your below age to Urban Meyer, not underage. So, your mid-20-something's girlfriend going to the Chop House in Columbus. Anyway, Ryan Day's a bum. We got to talk one sentence game. Matt, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This is the one sentence game presented by the amazing people at Candidates.com. Promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. Listen, you are like me. I dip. I need something to keep that going, even though I've quit. This is a great alternative. Right now, I'm chewing the mango, which is awesome. I love the mint, the spearmint. The grape was good. Arnold Palmer is the GOAT. You pour a little water in your mouth. It's like you're drinking Arnold Palmer all day. It's awesome. A bunch of great flavors. Amazing company. They'll reimburse. By the way, they one time shorted me on an order. I emailed them. Within an hour, they got back to me and said, hey, listen, we're sending you out your entire order again on us. You can't beat that kind of customer service. That just speaks to the level of people they are. As somebody who works in customer service and sales, I appreciate that as kind of a salesman to salesman. Check them out. BELLYUP20 is the promo code. Candidates.com, promo code BELLYUP20. As I apparently can't speak anymore. I'm getting dyslexic at this point. But check them out. And also, dude, I said we're going to lose to you guys in the regular season because I also love his fucking name, by the
way. Yeah, I was trying not to be 12.
Jared's got an enemy.
I have a lot of enemies. Shout out Drake.
That name kicks ass.
Here's the problem with the Niners, man. They are built for the regular season. They are. I can't. You wanted to. Okay, so we always say the best attribute is availability, right? I got to worry about your all-pro left tackle, your bully of a running back wide receiver hybrid. McCastrisk, God bless, has been healthy the entire time he's been in the Niners, which maybe says a lot about the Panthers training staff. Anyway, Brandon Ayuk's okay, but he's a glorified wide receiver 3 on a lot of teams. Somebody says, oh, he's a wide receiver 1. I'm like, he's not even a wide receiver 2 on like 30% of the NFL rosters. Anyway, got love for Ayuk. Ayuk is a good receiver. He's just, he's not better than Smith or Higgins or Jordan Addison. I throw him on the toss with KJ Osborne. Not better than Waddle. Yeah, no. So you get my point, though. So, Niners are going to beat the Eagles next week. If there was any team who's going to beat the Eagles in regular season, it is the Niners. Now, if they don't,
half the Eagles.
It's going to be funny. I'm going to be saying, because Hassan Rick's already saying, all right, line them up. And I'm the same way. Line them up. Put your money where your mouth is. Y'all are bitching, moaning, complaining all season about how it was unfair, how y'all coulda, shoulda, woulda. All right, line it up. Y'all beat us fair and square. Great. We'll see you in the playoffs. Just don't lose to the Cowboys. All right, let's kick it off. One sentence game. Maddie, we're starting on Thursday. What do you got for me?
We'll start with the first Thanksgiving game, the Packers and the Lions. Not something that I was expecting. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be like a runaway game for the Lions, but I did not see the Packers winning this game. So shout out to Green Bay for upsetting the Lions, keeping them down to 8-3. But we all know they're still taking that division.
Yeah. All right. For myself, I love this Andrew dude is literally just coming at me right in the comments. Shut your mouth. No, it's my show. Fight me.
What if he's yelling at Jack like he's defending you? He's befriended you.
Maybe. I don't know. Andrew, let me know who you're actually fighting for, me or Jack.
I picked a good day to use the pen on the show. Fantastic show.
Hilarious, dude.
Amazing show, right? Amazing show to like stay semi-sober for. All right. The Lions screwed me. The Lions proved they're still the same old Lions. The Packers are not good. I don't care. The Packers almost blew this, by the way. Everyone forgets that the Lions were moving the ball towards the end of that game. They just weren't awake until 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Chris, go.
Yeah, I should have looked at the Lions record like prior to this game on Thanksgiving. They're 37-44-2 on Thanksgiving. Shit. And also, I'm pretty sure someone said last week that the Packers were going to win this game on our stream. So whoever said that, you're a genius.
If you're referring to yourself, self-promotion is kind of a dick move.
Yeah, that's me.
Next Thanksgiving game we have, it was just an absolute massacre, but the Cowboys and the Commanders, 45-10, Cowboys victory.
DaRon Bland.
DaRon Bland's got his fifth touchdown on the season, and it's more than a lot of teams' wide receiver ones have on their whole season so far. And, they fired Jack Del Rio, and, I think it shows, when you trade your two best defensive linemen on your team, your defense gets worse. Like, maybe it's not the defensive coordinator's problem. Maybe it's because you just sold off the only two good guys on your defensive front, or one of the only two good guys on your defensive front. But we all know Ron Rivera is the issue. Until they get rid of him, the Commanders are going to continue to be middle of pack.
Fair enough. All right. DaRon Bland should win Defensive Player of the Year, or he will. Not he should, he will. I think that like TJ Watt or Miles deserves more, but the dude has 6 or 5 pick sixes and I think 6 interceptions. He's running away with his fucking award. Dude's playing out of his mind.
Yeah. I'm just happy I made the executive decision a few weeks ago to pick up Dak Prescott on the waivers. Ever since I did that, he's had over 3 touchdowns for these past 5 games. And I got Tony P, so he's been on a little TD streak this past 2 weeks. So I just can't believe it. Wow.
Nice, brother. All right.
Then
next up,
we got the last Thanksgiving game, Mr. Uhoff's team, the Niners and the Seahawks. Niners.
Motherfucker, is that? God damn it. Yo, fuck the Sea Chickens. That's my set.
Niners took care of business, just completely shut them out, just took that first place in that division right from them. And I don't know, Seahawks are looking a little regressed from last year, and they've upgraded a lot of positions. And one last thing, Tariq Woolen getting benched in the first half. I thought he was better than Sauce, everybody. Well, where are all these people? Sauce didn't get benched.
Fuck the Sea Chickens. All right, go, Chris.
49ers Played a good game. I think Geno's digressing a little bit from that elbow injury. He was on a short week. Seattle was going into Thanksgiving, but Niners just blew him out. Really, nothing else to say.
I love Geno Smith, and it's on me for sticking with Kevin and betting on the Sea Chickens, but still, respectfully, fuck the Sea Chickens.
Mm-hmm. Now we got the first ever Black Friday game of the NFL on Amazon Prime exclusive.
This game was a black eye of a game.
Which you guessed, a primetime game on Amazon Prime was a shit show. It was terrible. It was even worse probably to witness it live than to watch it on TV.
I was listening to it driving home.
It just, the lack of effort. It was insane to have a 50-yard Hail Mary get thrown with 2 seconds left in the first half. And then the guy runs it back 99 yards without one guy laying a finger on him. How does that? I don't know how you do that. And then if you really break it down, the Jets took Zach Wilson out and put in Tim Boyle. And Tim Boyle just turned out to be a less athletic, less mobile, and just not as strong of an arm quarterback. And we said, this is the fix to this team. Because Zach Wilson, I'm not trying to defend the kid, but Zach Wilson at the 50-yard line would have launched that ball into the fucking back of the end zone.
Carson Wentz, brother.
Carson Wentz called us twice, and fucking Joe Douglas said no. So there's a lot of things wrong with this team, and I would love to fire Nate Hackett, but we can't because you know why we can't.
It's not Nate Hackett. I'm telling you that right now.
No, it's just not an offense built for anybody but Aaron
Bobo
Rodgers.
Salo and Joe Douglas's fault, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
My sentence is simply this. I had no interest in watching this game after the first 5 minutes. I listened to this game for all of 10 minutes driving home from Boston, and I shut it off to listen to a podcast and then country music because that was more interesting while driving with my passengers passed out in the truck.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm sorry you had to go to that game.
Yeah, same.
I'm just going to say I send my best to Matt, like always, about the Jets. I just can't believe there was a sequence where Tim Boyle threw a pick and then Tua threw a pick with like 2 seconds left, and then Tim Boyle threw a Hail Mary interception for a pick six. And it took 2 minutes for 3 turnovers to happen. So I can't believe that took the Jets too. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that either. I wasn't sure what was going on with that one.
I mean,
I'm still not over the fact that Aaron Rodgers was done in 4 plays. But he's supposed to come back and practice this week. He's apparently practicing this week. And he's targeting December 24th.
That is wild. All right.
He's coming back against the Commanders.
Awesome.
Here we go, commies. Here we go. Losers.
Oh, next game on the list, the first games of the Sundays. Steelers-Bengals, a game that I am very happy. It was only $5, but very happy I took the under with points because the line was like 36.5 and they only scored 26 total combined points. So I'm very glad I took the under. I don't know how Kenny Pickett didn't put up more points against the Bengals team without Joe Burrow. They should have had majority of the game on offense, and they probably didn't. I didn't pay much attention to this game, but there's no reason why Kenny Pickett shouldn't have put up more points than this, and he's terrible. And the Steelers are skating by the skin of their teeth because they have an average quarterback with a good defense.
This game reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob where him and Patrick are fighting in the hallway in boating school class, and nobody's landing a punch. Even though they're swinging for their life. This is what that game reminded me of. Okay, I think, Chris, what we're going to do is on Mondays going forward, you and me are going to do GIFs on Twitter of every single game. So we'll each of us will pick 8 games or whatever it is, and we'll have to do a GIF from like SpongeBob or like Fairly Odd Parents or like even like
that's so funny
shows, and we'll just have a GIF that like summarizes the game because I think this is literally what sums up. These two were trying so hard.
Tyler Van Dyke to the portal?
Yes, sir! Freedom!
TVD is going out of Miami.
Freedom!
Let's see if
man.
Let's see if Jack says anything about that.
Yeah, this SpongeBob wise, this game was equivalent to probably as stressed as when Flats was just punching SpongeBob, but he just didn't realize that he can't hurt SpongeBob because he's made out of sponge. So just the
Right.
stress that man had to punch him for like a week straight is what it felt like watching this game.
Oh God.
Hmm.
I don't know if I have a SpongeBob comparison to this game, but I will say Jake Browning is like anti Joe Burrow. Same initials, just the numbers flipped from a 9 to a 6. Yeah, Kenny Pickett stinks. Man, I'm with you on that 100%.
He's just
I
an
try to give it,
average quarterback with a
yeah,
great defense.
yeah. I think Matt Canada stunk, but I don't think Pickett was much better. So, that's all I got with them. Bengals won't do anything until Burrow comes back, and he's done for the year. So, probably not
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Well, this
Unfortunately.
next one was low key. I mean, it wasn't insanely high scoring. This was low key one of the I think I'd say like a top 5 game this week. I think Jacksonville and Houston was a solid game. You had a fantastic performance against the Texans or with the Texans with CJ Stroud, proven to be the rookie of the year, 26 of 36 for 304 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 47 yards on the ground with another touchdown. He was responsible for 21 of their points, which is all of their points. And the only reason why they didn't take that game to overtime was because the kicker just bounced that ball off the crossbar of 58 yards out. But shout out to the Texans. They are proven to be a competitive team with DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud.
Yeah, the Stroud boys, they're a good team. I'm not going to knock them, but they were bound to lose one. Like, unfortunately, it was this week against the Jags. I mean, I'm happy we took the Jags, Matt. But Lawrence,
they're undefeated on the road.
Yeah, undefeated on the road. I forgot about that stat. I was talking about the other day. Ridley's production's coming back up as far as fantasy wise. Past 2 weeks, he's caught 2 touchdowns. So I'm happy about that. Lawrence played good. This was probably my second favorite game this week, outside of right behind the Eagles and Bills.
There you go.
You got anything on this one?
Which one is this one?
There you go. Texans Jaguars.
Oh, I wrote a fucking. This is the title. This is the title page. You live by kickers, you die by kickers.
Damn right.
Yeah.
This, god damn it, Amendola, son of a bitch.
You know what was worse about it was that it had what looked like the distance, and it was perfectly down the middle. And it was just a heartbreaker. Just even not being a fan of the team, a heartbreaker to see that bounce off the crossbar.
This shit hurt.
Well, this one was also not a bad game, but we have the
Jake
Colts
Elliott
and the
it.
Buccaneers. Jake Elliott would have hit that 100%. We have the Colts and the Buccaneers.
And then done like the Dougie walking back to the sideline.
Colts and Bucks, not a bad game score-wise, but you had Minshew 24-41 for 251 yards and 1 interception. Baker had a couple touchdowns and 1 interceptions off 199 yards. Rachaad White had a pretty good game today. Mike Evans did really well, 6 receptions, 70 yards. I mean, just the fact that they still lost to the Colts and the Colts didn't even have a passing touchdown is insane, yet they scored 27 points. So shout out to the Colts. Shane Steichen's figuring out ways to get out some victories while he can.
This game also killed parlays because I think I overestimate the Buccaneers and the fact that they're really still the Fuccaneers. As in what the fuck? I'm never betting against or on DJ's fucking Colts ever again. I refuse to. I hate your team. I despise them for betting purposes. I love rooting for them off of betting purposes, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy for the stash. Former Eagle. Yeah, Mike Evans played well. 2 TDs. Pittman's been having a good year. He's been pretty consistent. And Jonathan Taylor's back. He's proven that, he's worth the contract. So I'm happy he's back. I don't really hate any of these teams, so this is kind of just like just another 1:00 game. It was probably more interesting than half the games over the weekend. But yeah, that's all I got.
Possible hot take or just going back to what we were talking about for 2 seconds. I know this guy's a Niners fan. Brandon Ayuk or Michael Pittman for wide receiver 2? I mean, overall, I think Michael Pittman's more of a yeah, but we all know he's not really a wide receiver, But I think Michael Pittman is a wide receiver 2 on any team. That's a good point, though. I think he's a wide receiver 2 on any other roster besides like maybe a handful. But I think if you added like, Diggs to that lineup, like Diggs is going to be the wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
This one, Falcons and Saints. Shitty game. Just I don't understand what's wrong with Derek Carr. I don't know why the experiment is not working in the Saints. I know the coach sucks. I'm not a big Dennis Allen fan, but I mean, you have Olave, Michael Thomas. I know there's some of them are hurt, but you had Olave, Michael Thomas beginning of the time. You had Kamara came back in. Rashid Shaheed is doing pretty well as well. I just think that they should have at least probably like 7 or 8 wins, not 5. So I don't know why it's not working out with him. 304 yards, 1 interception. And then shout out to Arthur Smith, who finally realized if you use your best player, which is Bijan Robinson, you will win games. So when you give him the ball 16 times, he gets 91 yards and a touchdown, and he also has 32 receptions for another touchdown, you're going to win games no matter how bad Desmond Ridder is. So shout out to Arthur Smith, realizing he needs to utilize his best players, and now it's time to get Kyle Pitts the ball.
I think my favorite part about this is that we really got to witness the fact that Arthur Smith is just one of the dumbest head coaches of all time, but yet he has so much first-round talent on that roster. He will somehow find a way to win games, and it makes me very happy.
I can't tell if Chris Rose. Oh, is he back?
Nope, he's there. He's alive.
Yeah, for some reason, there I am. Wow. Yeah, the connection was a little wonky there. Yeah, Matt, you got a great point there. Like, if you got Bijan, dude, feed him. Like, you drafted this guy in the top 10. Like, you shouldn't be touching the ball 15 times. I'm thinking like 20 plus, especially if you have a guy like Desmond Ridder. I mean, you don't really, the Falcons are just a frenzy football team. They're always going to play exciting games, no matter who's the QB. But I will say about them, if the Bears take a QB with the first pick, I can see Justin Fields getting on the Falcons next year, creating a little fun down in the ATL.
Be like their watered down Mike Vick version with less arm strength.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of bad games.
It'd be really funny.
There's a lot of bad games.
We can also remember we can do the whole pass. That's a real word.
Oh, well, this one is going to be mine. So Patriots Giants, this is one of the worst games I've seen this whole year. I'm going to pass. There's nothing.
This is
DeVito calls sauce gravy.
Forgot.
I think this actually might be literally just Patrick Starr trying to brush the ground with the upside down broom, and the guy goes, "Hey pal, you ball from town." This is describing both teams. Just they are both trying to lose. Just one is better than the other.
It would have been real funny if they tied, and then people had to watch like on Red Zone an extended amount of that game. Just another 10 minutes.
God damn it! Why didn't they tie? This makes me mad now.
It would have been the funniest outcome ever because they're just
awesome.
So bad. Dude, Matt got benched for the 5th time this season. What do you do? Your confidence has to be on the.
And Zappy was just as bad.
Belichick for negligence and I don't know, man. A bunch of other shit.
I'm gonna probably pass on this one too. Panthers Titans. The Panthers just make it just painful to watch somebody try so hard to lose a game, and it just takes skill, and I admire that. But it's just wild to see them just do this bad. So I'm gonna pass because I don't know what else to say.
Only thing I'll say about this is Frank Reich got fired, and he didn't even last a full season with Carolina.
Free Frank Reich. Free Frank Reich.
I'm the Eagles. I might call him back home, but yeah, I don't really have much about this game either. I'll pass. Just Bryce Young is he's in a lot of trouble.
The poor kid. I want to give him a hug.
No draft picks either, so they can't even do anything.
Who's the doofus that owns this team now?
I'll look it up right now for you.
I can't think of his name right now. It's killing me because he's trying to be Jerry Jones, but unlike Jerry, he's not smart about football. And that's me giving Jerry a compliment. That just scares some people.
Scott Fittier?
Really?
Sounds like somebody that doesn't know football.
I don't know who that is. It's like a custom Madden GM.
No, not the GM. I'm talking about the owner.
Oh, owner. Oh, we're going back to the drawing board. Hold on, boys.
David Tepper. I knew the name of this doofus. He is literally trying to be Jerry Jones, but he's Jim Jones. Anybody know that's a former cult leader from the 80s? I believe 80s or 90s, whatever. I'm not that old. Yeah, no, this is embarrassing. The Panthers are embarrassing. Next.
Well, yeah, Rams Cardinals.
Kyren Williams?
Weird game. Yeah, Kyren Williams was came back and did his thing, 143 yards, and even had a receiving touchdown off 61 yards. So the whole offense was pretty much him. Matt Stafford had a great game as well, 229 passing yards for 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cooper Kupp did absolutely nothing for me, but I still won, so it's okay. But like, my God, how do you only have 3 catches for 18 yards in that entire game? Kyler Murray is not really helping out his case to come back next year as the QB1 for Arizona.
I mentioned they run the ball 6 times with James Conner.
Yep.
You know, Kyler Murray threw the ball 45 times, ran the ball 6 times. Kyren Williams is so exciting to watch for, especially fantasy wise. Like, I picked him up, like Mason was saying. He was out for 6 weeks, comes back, gets 200 scrimmage yards. I feel good about going into the playoffs now. I finally got a healthy running back because my guys stunk or they got hurt. I had like 3 guys on the IR, and Kyren coming back saved my season. So thank you, Rams. Thank you, Mason. That's it.
Yeah, my comment was Kyren Williams. That was it.
Got a Star Wars
Browns Broncos. Dorian Thompson leads the game. PJ Walker comes in, and the Broncos get it done with that defense. I think I saw a stat where they said Russell Wilson's like 17-0 with touchdowns into the red zone or something like that. But just shout out to the Broncos. They just completely turned this franchise around in this first season so far. They started off miserable. We all thought Sean Payton was one and done possibly. Now they got him 6-5, aiming at a possible wild card spot. So shout out to the Broncos.
Let's ride. That's South Park football. Yeah, dude, like it's crazy. They won 5 straight. They've been a good team. Yeah, it's gonna be that division's pretty interesting because you got the Chiefs who are probably gonna win it, and then you got the Chargers and Broncos are gonna be fighting for a wild card spot. Not to mention they'll be fighting with like 3 other teams for a wild card spot. So I'm pretty interested. I'm gonna be interested to see how their season's gonna end, especially with, again, 4 or 5 other teams competing for a playoff spot. So Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride. All right, so I do have one thing to talk about. So we talk about Tyler Van Dyke leaving. So right now, Miami Hurricanes Twitter is blowing up. I am part of Hurricanes Twitter. Apparently, they've done 3 polls already. Not where I've seen 80, 83, and 78% of Canes fans are happy Van Dyke is leaving.
Damn. Wonder if any of the players are chiming in, honestly.
Well, I mean, all the guys who transferred were all Manny Diaz guys. None of these guys are.
I'm the 22% that's not happy.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not mad about Van Dyke leaving. I wish him the best of luck. He's a fellow Connecticut boy like me and Matt, but dude has as much dog in him as a Chihuahua. He just, when it got tough, man, he would throw picks. It didn't matter how good we were up or how many good receivers he had in front of him. And it just kind of strikes me all the guys that are leaving are all Manny Diaz recruits, which should tell you something. So shout out to the Cristobal regime, but keep going.
Chiefs and Raiders. Keeping it plain and simple, Chiefs do what they usually do, which is beat up on the Raiders and beat them. And that's what they did, 31-17. They gave them a little lead to flirt with it in the beginning, and they took it right on home in the end.
The Chiefs pulled the Philadelphia Eagles. They were playing with their food in the first half, and then fucking knocked it out in the second. So good job, Chiefs, for just destroying Raiders. I felt so bad for the Raiders, and I picked the Raiders to cover at +9. I'm like, that's a reasonable
That's a lot of points.
Nope, not enough.
No, it is a lot of points, though. I would have probably taken it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Chris, you frozen? Yeah, he's frozen.
He is.
All right.
Same connection.
All right,
There
move
he
on.
There we go.
Second to last game of the week.
Yeah.
You got it?
My fault.
You're good.
Bills and Eagles.
Okay. We put in 23 minutes of this. Do you want to keep going?
I mean, if you want to go for it one more time, try it quick. 1 sentence. Go.
Go Birds. Sean McDermott is an overrated coach. That's it. Not on Josh Allen. Good quarterback.
Best
Done.
game of the whole season so far. All I got to say. Best game of this year.
There you go. All right, next up.
Last one, Ravens and Chargers was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. No reason why the Ravens should have put up only 20 points on the Chargers. No reason why the Chargers should have only put up 10 points. But here we are. Shitty game, but congrats to the Ravens.
I forgot to comment on the Eagles and Bills. Jalen Hurts is him. That's my sentence. Both teams played exactly how I expected. Also, shout out to Zay Flowers for giving fantasy owners a giant middle finger.
And send my condolences to Austin Eckler owners because Justin Herbert had more rushing yards than Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler, I think, is actually shot, which is just sad, but I think they ran him to the ground way too hard, way too early, and now he has no more gas.
Yeah, he used to have like 3 touchdowns a game, and that was normal for him. And now he had 10 touches for 32 yards. Just sad.
It's just not good. All right. Anything else, fellas, before we roll on out of here?
I didn't say anything about the Raiders and Chiefs. Mahomes' record against the Raiders is 10-1, and I find that to be remarkable.
I mean, the Raiders have been shit since he got to the league, so I think their last playoff berth, besides the 1 year with Sal Capaccio was I think they've one of the worst records in football since 2017 when Mahomes got drafted. So that should tell you something right there.
Yeah. Good point.
There you go. All right. We should be live on Thursday. I'd say about 7:00. Peep the Christmas tree and also the Emory jersey. It is Christmas time. Obviously, we know we'll do the Corner Booth Christmas party, which we'll do a giveaway for this year. Nice little $30 Nike gift card will be on the line. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing just fun games. We'll have special guests. It'll be a fun time. That, I think, takes place, I believe, the 21st. Also, I think I'm taking that Friday off, so I am going balls to the wall on that show.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah. All right.
I'll be there with you.
Oh, yeah. Gents, enjoy your nights. Shout out to Josh Dobbs and Creed and everything else that makes this team fun. I'm going to be watching this game while editing this podcast. Also, check out this subscription drop on Belly Up and Friends, as well as the Corner Booth podcast stream for all podcasts, wherever you download and listen to your podcast. Shout out to our sponsors, Mauler Bros, promo code Belly Up for 15% off. SeatGeek, which I used for these Boston College tickets. Promo code Belly Up 20 for $20 off your first purchase. Belly Up Sports. And Belly Up 20, which is the promo code for candidates, promo code Belly Up 20. for 20% off your purchase at checkout. Enjoy your night. We'll see you Thursday. And look out for me and Chris to start doing these gift things. I think it'll be really funny. Peace.